Today I am here to share with you all the ideology of my revered Gurudev, His Holiness Ashutosh Maharaj on the very concept of human rights, which is the theme of the symposium. But at the outset of my talk, I feel like sharing with you an old legal case, very old, of 1970s. I think many of you were not even born at that time. At that time, there was a car, Ford Pinto. It was a very popular car, but it had one problem. Its fuel tank was at the back. So in case of collision, some vehicle hitting the Ford from behind, Ford's fuel tank used to explode. Due to this, many people were killed and severely injured. Victims of the injuries took Ford to court. But brothers and sisters, you will be shocked to hear the argument that the lawyer of the company extended in the court. He said, "My lord, company very well knows that the fuel tank of its car is vulnerable to explosion." Judge was astonished. He asked, "Then why didn't the company bother to fix it up?" Lawyer said, "Actually, my lord, company had done a cost-benefit analysis. The safety device would cost the company $11 per car. And in a year, company sells around 12.5 million cars. So to improve the safety of cars, the cost incurred per year would be simple mathematics. I and you can also do it. $11 into 12.5 million, $137 million. Judge said, "Then so what?" "But my lord, please listen to the other part of the analysis too. Due to fuel tank explosion, we came to know that in a year, on an average, 180 deaths and 180 injuries happen. And on an average, a person earns around $200,000 in his entire life. So, compensation amount to 180 deaths would be 180 into $200,000. To it, we also added the cost of medical bills and replacement cost of cars. Finally, the total cost turned out to be only $48.2 million. And sir, you can understand where $48.2 million and where $137 million. So, the company decided not to install the safety devices in Pinto cars. Now, brothers and sisters, how many of you think that the logic of the lawyer is logical? None of us. Reason? A man is not just what he earns in his lifespan. What about his emotional aspect, intellectual, ethical, social, spiritual aspects? We can't put a dollar value to human life. Human life is not for sale. Brothers and sisters, human life cannot be traded for anything under the sun. That's why right to life is our inalienable right. The same logic. It can be extended to other rights, like right to liberty, right to happiness. To understand it, let's look at a psychological experiment that was conducted in 1930s. A psychologist gave the participants a questionnaire. Let me ask those questions from you also. Think of your favorite color. Done? Okay. Now, if I ask you to change your favorite color, whatever it may be, to some other color, say red, then wait, I have something more to add before you answer. If you will change your preference, you would be given 10 lakh rupees. Would you go for it? Obviously yes. Why not? Now, second, think of your favorite food item. Pizza, noodles, or whatever you like. Now you have to change your preference to Karela or ghee. But at this time, for this you would be given 1 crore. Now, of course, yes. Likewise, there were many questions. But let me now come straight to the last question of the questionnaire. Listen carefully. If you are asked to spend the rest of your life as a slave to someone, where you cannot even have a thought of your own, moreover, you are stressed, tensed all the time, can't entertain a single pleasant feeling, no smile, no laughter, would you accept it? If you are paid, I'm damn sure nobody wants to listen to the offer even, because for no amount you are going to sell your happiness and freedom. So brothers and sisters, once again, freedom and happiness are not for sale. They are our basic needs and thus fundamental rights. But now the sad part of the story is, still, many people are deprived of these rights. They are not able to exercise these rights. Why? Because since birth they are tagged, labeled. These tags are of the nation, the society, the family they are born in. These tags are of the culture, religion, social practices and beliefs. These labels are of the gender, race, caste, creed. And brothers and sisters, these tags, understand, these tags and labels are the very reason of discrimination and thus inequality, and in turn denial of our basic human rights. So, what's the solution? Before telling that, let me narrate to you a plot of the Hollywood movie. It's a very interesting movie, listen carefully. Actually, an American author, he read our Bhagavad Gita and he wrote a book, Gita on the Green. And on the basis of that novel, an American director made a movie, Legend of Bhagavans. This movie is about a golfer. He was a classic player, बहुत अच्छा खेलता था. Nobody could match him in his shots. But what happened? Due to some untoward circumstances in his life, he got an emotional setback and he left playing. He came under acute stress and he started drinking. Many years passed by. One day, a tournament was fixed between his country and one another country. Now, his countrymen approached him and they said, "Sir, we know that our country can win only if you will play from our side. So please play for the nation." The golfer said, "Okay, I'm ready to play, but there is one problem." "What problem?" The golfer said, "I have been drinking day and night, so I have lost the clarity of mind. I can't take quick decisions." The countryman said, "Oh, no problem. We will provide you a caddy." Brothers and sisters, in goal, the guide or coach is called caddy. And you know who was the caddy? His name was Bhagavans. And the golfer's name was Arjunuhu. कुछ क्लिक किया? Did anything strike your mind? Arjunuhu and Bhagavans. Yes, Arjunuhu, Arjun, and Bhagavans, Bhagwan. So not only the plot of the movie, but the names of actors are also similar to the characters of our Gita. So now it is quite obvious that the solution would be Gita based. Next, what happens in the movie? A stage comes when all the rounds of the match are over. Only the last shot is left, and that too is to be played by Arjunuhu. The game is won or lost depends entirely on his strike. Arjuna is quite perplexed. He looks at his caddy, Bhagavans, and asks, "Which club should I play?" If you will watch the movie, you will see that at this point of time, Bhagavans spoke a wonderful statement. He said, "What you need to do is just get yourself out of there." And this is exactly what Bhagwan Krishna said to Arjun. "Hey Parth, this is the crowning action of your life. ये तेरे जीवन का मुकुटमणि क्षण है. What you need to do is just get yourself out of there. अपने आप को बीच से हटा दे." Arjun asked, "Keshav, what it means?" Bhagwan Krishna said, "It means you rise above from your thoughts, beliefs and perceptions. In short, rise above your mind. And brothers and sisters, this is the ultimate solution to our problem also. Because all these tags, labels, identities with which we have burdened ourselves are the outcomes of our mind only. He is rich, he is poor, he is black, he is white, he is Indian, he is African. All these thoughts, they lurk and breed in mind only. If we'll rise above mind, then we will also rise above these discriminations. My revered Gurudev, His Holiness Ashutosh Maharaji narrates a historical incident in this regard. You all must have heard the name Yuri Gagarin. Who was he? The first man to go in space. And when Yuri Gagarin returned to Earth from space, the journalists asked him, when you saw the Earth from the space, what was the first thing that came to your mind? Your family, your country, or what? Yuri Gagarin smiled and said, sorry, but none of your guess is right. No thought of family or country passed my mind. I was overwhelmed with just one feeling, my planet, my Earth. This reply of Yuri makes it quite clear that as we rise above, we come out of the shackles of narrow thoughts. So the only solution to the problem is rise above your petty mind. But rise to what? The same question was asked by the hero of Mahabharata war. Who was the hero? We all know, Arjun. Arjun asked Krishna, where should I fix myself if not on mind? Lord Krishna said, on your higher self, Atmavan Bhava. All the great sages world over have said the same. Know thyself, see thyself, realize thyself. Because it is only after rising to the soul level we realize the equality of human beings. See, brothers and sisters, we all are different at all other levels. At physical level, we differ in our looks, features, color, strength. We also have different EQs and IQs. What to say of economic standards? I read somewhere that Bill Gates' assets are around $40 billion. Now suppose a $100 note falls from his pocket. Then should he bend to pick it up? No, not at all. Why? Because that would take more than 1 second. And in a second, he earns more than $100. Whereas on the other side, we know a great number of global population lives on just $100 for a month. So these inequalities will remain. Then on what grounds are we equal? Friends, the only level at which we are all same is the soul level. Our souls are the part and parcel of one supreme soul, the Paramatma. He is the common thread running through all human beings. Mai sarvam idam protam sutre mani gana iva. He is the supreme father of all of us. Ek pita ekaske hum barik. Because of that one father, we all are brothers and sisters. When we realize this one fatherhood, then only we can think of universal brotherhood. Then only we can have love, compassion for our fellow brothers. Then only can all the discriminations end and we can all enjoy our basic human rights. So, the need is to realize ourselves, our Atman. And Brihadaranyaka Upanishad Rishi Yajnavalkya says to his wife Maitreyi, Atma vari shrotavyo mantavyo drashtavyo nididhyastavyo. That soul really deserves to be heard of, to be thought about, to be seen and meditated upon. But how can this be practically achieved? We are not here to just give you theories. The practical side of it is, it can be achieved only and only through Brahma Gyan. Brahma Gyan is the technique, the eternal science through which we can see our real self face to face. We can experience Atma and its divinity in the very chamber of our hearts. and it is by the grace of our divine personality, the perfect master only, that we attain this Brahma Gyan. And I am very proud to say, brothers and sisters, that today, by the grace of His Holiness Ashutosh Maharaj Ji, millions of people have received this knowledge of self, Brahma Gyan, and are now on the way to become the embodiment of equality and love. I hope and pray that soon every individual comes in this realm and we usher into a world where there is no discrimination and everybody enjoys his basic fundamental rights. Now, I would like to end my talk with a song. This is the favorite song of Swami Vivekananda and Thakur Ramakrishna, but it contains the message of holistic Vedanta. Some of its lines are, सबके मका दिल का मकी तू, कौन सा दिल है जिसमें नहीं तू, हर एक दिल में तू ही समाया, जो कुछ है सो तू ही है, एषा सर्वेषु भूतेषु गूढ़ो आत्मा न प्रकाशते, this atma is hidden in all beings. क्या मलायक, क्या इंसान, क्या हिंदू, क्या मुसलमान, जैसे चाहा तूने बनाया, जो कुछ है सो तू ही है, त्वम स्त्री त्वम पुमानसी त्वम कुमार उतवा कुमारी, त्वम जीर्णो दंडेन वंचसी त्वम जातो भवसी विश्वतो मुखा. Upanishad chapter 4 verse 3 states, thou art the woman, thou the man, thou art a boy and again a young virgin. Thou art aged man that walk bent with thy staff. अर्श से लेकर फर्श जमी तक और जमी से अर्शवरी तक, जहां मैं देखा तू ही नजर आया, जो कुछ है सो तू ही है. The whole world is permeated by one. Isha vasyamidam sarvam yat kinch jagatyam jagat. And brothers and sisters, when we realize this truth, not only in words but practically, then only each one of us would enjoy our rights to the fullest, and this world will become a paradise. And so, SAM Workshops, Youth Drive of Divya Jyoti Jagrati Sansthan is channelizing the youth for this great cause. SAM is awakening the very backbone of the society, the youth like you, to take the responsibility of reducing inequality and build a peaceful world. With this, I give rest to my views. Thank you very much.